You only live once. You have a lot to lose by having just one Johnson for 25 years. That's what my oldest daughter, Ashley, told my wife, and that's where this entire nightmare began. I wasn't supposed to hear it, but thanks to my son Jason's forgotten iPad, synced to our shared iCloud, I did. And what I heard made my blood run cold. The screen showed a group chat, girls' night. Ashley, my wife, Vanessa, her little sister Chloe, and some woman I didn't recognize named Ray. Ashley wrote, "Mom, you should try someone else. YOLO, right? You've only been with Dad. You deserve to explore. I know someone from my gym who'd totally rock your world." Vanessa replied, "Girl, stop, but also, send a pic. Just curious." I threw the iPad. It cracked against the fireplace, but it was too late. The words burned into my brain. That night, she came home late again, reeking of sweet perfume and overpriced vodka, dressed tighter than usual, high heels in her hand like trophies. She stumbled through the door and laughed like a teenager. "Hey, baby, don't wait up next time." She kissed my cheek. I didn't even flinch. My jaw clenched so hard I tasted blood. I needed confirmation. Not from her. From him. Next day, I called my lawyer. I didn't even greet him. "Prepare full revenge," I said. "I want my wife and daughter out of my house, out of my accounts, and out of my life." He paused. "What happened?" I sent the screenshots. "Start with the financials. Then the house." I changed all passwords. Froze our joint cards. Canceled her access to the cars under my name. Then I went to her closet, grabbed every luxury bag I ever bought her, and tossed them into a donation bin. The next morning, I had 56 missed calls. Ashley, Vanessa, Chloe, even her mom. One text from Vanessa stood out, glowing on my screen like a pathetic warning flare. "Please answer. It's not what you think." Too late. I already thought it. I knew it. By noon, I received the hotel receipt. Vanessa had booked a suite 3 nights ago at the Sheraton downtown. A room paid for using my credit card. The name she signed it under? Mrs. V. Blackwood. That wasn't my last name. I checked our security cams. Footage from last Tuesday showed her sneaking out around midnight, wearing a black trench coat over lingerie. That evening, I followed her. She didn't go to her friend Megan's like she said. She met a man. At a bar. Young, built, tatted neck. He kissed her before they even got inside. My fists tightened on the steering wheel. I wanted to run him over. But no. I waited. Let them enter. Then I snapped the photo that changed everything. My wife, with her tongue halfway down some guy's throat, 14 years younger than her, while I sat outside in our family SUV, the same car I used to drive our kids to school. I sent the photo to Ashley. No words. Just the photo. She replied, "Dad." I didn't think she'd actually do it. I was just joking. "I'm so sorry." "Joking? You told your own mother to cheat, then helped her find a guy." This wasn't a joke. This was a war. And I was just getting started. Vanessa came home 2 hours later than usual. I was already waiting on the porch, arms crossed, face blank. I didn't need to yell. I wanted her to feel the silence. She pulled into the driveway in the Audi. My Audi. Stepped out in heels and a smug little grin that disappeared the second she saw her house keys were useless. She tried the front door again. Nothing. Click. Lock. Then she saw me. "What the hell, Daniel?" she snapped, her voice full of entitlement, like she was the victim here. "I suggest you try a hotel," I said. "Maybe the Sheraton? I heard it's nice." Her eyes widened for half a second. "Just long enough." "Don't play games with me," she hissed. "I'm not. You played enough games for both of us." I tossed a white envelope at her feet. Inside were screenshots of the texts, the hotel receipt, the photo. She didn't even look at them. Vanessa folded her arms. "You're being dramatic." That's when I knew she didn't feel guilt. She felt inconvenienced. "I gave you 25 years, I said slowly, "and you traded it for abs and a 6-pack of cheap wine." "Oh, please," she rolled her eyes. "You're acting like you're some saint." "I was bored, Daniel." "Bored? You stopped trying years ago." That was her defense. "Bored. She cheated on me, with someone our daughter introduced her to, because I didn't keep her constantly entertained?" I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so damn absurd. Is this how you teach our daughter to live? Sabotage a marriage and then throw your family in the trash? Vanessa looked away for the first time. Ashley didn't mean it. She was just trying to help. Help? My voice cracked, louder now. Help destroy her own family? She went quiet. Then, With a smug tilt of her head, she added, "You were never fun. At least he listens to me. At least he makes me feel alive." That's when the rage came. Not the kind that screams, the cold, controlled kind. The kind that makes you plan instead of explode. I pulled out the second envelope. Divorce papers. Not filed yet, just filled in. "Sign this. You leave with what you came with." Vanessa's jaw tensed. "No. I've put in years. I deserve." "Deserve what?" I cut her off. "The house? The cars? My retirement? After you played motel roulette with your personal trainer? You deserve nothing but a receipt." She stepped closer, whispering like a threat. "You're really going to throw it all away?" "You already did," I said, stepping back inside. She started pounding on the door. "You won't get away with this. You need me more than you think." I locked the second bolt. "You need me, Daniel," she screamed through the wood. I walked to the kitchen and turned on the blender. Her voice was gone. Later that night, I opened a new bank account. Froze the old one. The house already transferred under my name exclusively. Thanks to my lawyer's foresight, Vanessa's name had been removed from key assets long before she ever knew. By morning, she was gone, left with her purse, her car, and the delusion that she still had control. Ashley texted again. "Dad, I didn't know she'd cheat. I swear I didn't. Can we talk?" I didn't answer. Because Ashley, my own daughter, had pushed the first domino. And no apology was going to undo the collapse. I called Jason, my youngest, my son. He was quiet on the phone. I explained everything. Told him I needed him to come home from college for a few days. He didn't ask questions. Just said, "I'll be there tonight." That afternoon, I went into Ashley's room. It hadn't changed in years, old cheerleader trophies, prom photos with exes, pink walls I once painted for her 8th birthday. I started boxing everything. If they were going to betray me under my roof, they wouldn't live under it anymore. And as I sealed the last box, I found something under her bed. A burner phone. I turned it on. No passcode. First message? "Tell your mom we'll meet again Friday. Same room. Bring the red set." I smiled. They thought I was done? I hadn't even started. The burner phone was a goldmine. Not just proof confirmation. My daughter and my wife weren't just close. They were accomplices. They were planning this together like it was a mother-daughter spa trip, not the betrayal of the only man who ever sacrificed everything for them. I sat down at the dining table, the same table we'd eaten Christmas dinners around, where Ashley once cried over a breakup and Vanessa had pretended to console her. Now I was reading texts that made my stomach turn. From Jordan, Mom's gym beast. "That thing your mom did last time, still thinking about it. Damn, you two are dangerous." From Ashley. "Told you she'd love it, wait till you see what she's wearing Friday." And the worst, from Vanessa. "He'll never know. Danny's too busy playing husband of the year to even notice I'm alive." That's when I felt it. Not rage, not heartbreak. Precision. Like a sniper taking aim. The emotional noise faded, and all I could hear was strategy. They weren't just selfish. They were laughing at me. That made it personal. I copied every message, took screenshots, uploaded them to a cloud folder titled "Truth Hurts." Then I texted Jordan from the burner. "Change of plans. Friday's off." Something came up. He responded almost instantly. "Damn. Was looking forward to those legs, let me know when she's free." I didn't reply. Instead, I turned my attention to Ashley. That evening, she walked through the front door like she didn't set fire to everything I'd ever built. "Dad," she started, all breathless and fake innocence. "Can we please talk?" I stood at the top of the stairs, arms folded. "Talk? You mean like the way you talked about replacing me? Helping your mom shop for a new size?" Her eyes widened. "What?" I held up the burner. "This. Found it under your bed. Want to explain?" She froze. I came down one step. "No lies. No crying. Just the truth. One chance." She looked down, then muttered, "It wasn't supposed to go that far." "Really?" I snarled. "Because it went all the way to hotel rooms, matching outfits, and a guy with a tattoo of a snake on his neck calling your mom his queen." She backed up. I thought she needed to feel something again. She was miserable. "You weren't." "Don't you dare." I cut her off, voice like steel. "You don't get to justify helping your mother destroy this family." Ashley tried to cry. Real or fake, I didn't care anymore. "Get your things," I said coldly. "What?" "You heard me. Pack. You're out of this house by midnight." Her voice cracked. "You're kicking me out?" "I'm your daughter. And I was your father," I said. But apparently that wasn't enough. She collapsed onto the floor. I walked past her, left the room. That night, she didn't leave. Just sat in her room, doors closed. I didn't sleep. Just stared at the wall, heart like ice. At 3 a.m., I heard the door creak open. Ashley appeared in the hallway with her suitcase. She didn't say goodbye. I didn't either. In the morning, I found a note under my coffee mug. You were never there for her, Dad. She needed more. I only tried to help. I'm sorry it ended this way. I didn't flinch. By noon, the lawyer called. Daniel, he said, we're ready to serve Vanessa. Are you sure about freezing everything? Everything, I confirmed. Accounts, vehicles, cards. Lock her out. Make it hurt. He sighed. You'll probably hear from her fast. I'm counting on it. Sure enough, 4 hours later, my phone lit up. Vanessa. WDF? My card just declined at the salon. What the hell is going on? Then, Daniel, answer me. What did you do? Then, I'm going to the police if you don't unfreeze my money. And finally, in all caps, you can't do this to me. I smiled. Because she was wrong. I could do this. And I wasn't done. Next move? Make sure her lover got a taste too. He wanted to play games with another man's wife? He was about to learn what a real man does when everything he loves gets betrayed. Jordan Blackwood, age 27, works at Iron Temple Gym, downtown. Lies in a shared apartment above a tattoo parlor. Arrested once for a bar fight that got ugly. I learned all this in under 24 hours. When you're married to a woman for 25 years, you learn how to move in silence. Vanessa never noticed the private investigator I kept on retainer. He owed me a favor. I called it in. Follow him. I told him. Get me everything. His car. His routine. His pressure points. By noon the next day, I had it all. Jordan's Instagram was public. Thousands of photos flexing at the gym, shirtless selfies, motivational captions like, I break limits, and your girl's favorite leg day. I scrolled past them until I found the one that made my blood run cold. Posted just 2 days ago. Vanessa's hand. Her wedding ring. Off. Caption. She finally woke up smiling face with sunglasses fire. I stared at it for a full minute. No rage. Just certainty. This wasn't just an affair. It was a mockery. He wanted to parade my wife like a trophy? Then I'd take everything he thought was secure, starting with his reputation. That afternoon, I drafted an email. Subject, urgent, inappropriate conduct, Iron Temple employee. Body. To the management of Iron Temple Gym. I am writing to report your employee, Jordan Blackwood, for engaging in inappropriate conduct with a married client, my wife, whom he seduced during personal training sessions at your facility. I have photo and video evidence of their interactions both inside and outside of the gym, including during business hours and inside your premises. This behavior is predatory, unethical, and could result in legal consequences for both Mr. Blackwood and your establishment. Please confirm receipt. I will be forwarding this to the Better Business Bureau and legal counsel if no action is taken within 48 hours. Regards. Daniel Carter. I attached every screenshot. The hotel receipts. The burner texts. A clip from our home security camera showing her sneaking out in the middle of the night. Then I hit send. 2 hours later, the gym's manager replied. We are taking this very seriously. Mr. Blackwood has been suspended pending investigation. We sincerely apologize for any distress this has caused you and your family. One down. Now, for Vanessa. She showed up at the house that evening. Bangs on the door. Loud. Desperate. Daniel. Open the door. You froze everything. I can't even pay for gas. I stood behind the curtain, watching her melt down like the drama queen she always denied being. I'm still your wife, she screamed. This is illegal. You can't just freeze me out of our life. I opened the door just enough for her to see my face. You did that yourself, I said, voice low. She tried to push her way inside. I blocked her. I have nowhere to go, she sobbed. You had a hotel, a lover, a daughter cheering you on. Call one of them. You're not even giving me a chance to explain. I laughed, a cold, bitter sound. You had 3 months to come clean. And instead, you booked rooms under fake names and used my money to fund your playdates. Her expression turned from pitiful to venomous in an instant. You're pathetic, she spat. You were never enough. That's why I left. You want to act like a man now? Too late. I smiled. You're right, I said. I am acting like a man now. One who's done being your ATM. Then I handed her the final envelope. Served by hand. The official notice. Divorce filed. Assets frozen. Hearing set. She ripped it open. I scanning fast. You'll pay for this, she hissed. No, I said, stepping back inside. You already did. The next morning, I got a call from the gym manager again. We've let Mr. Blackwood go. His contract is terminated immediately. I trust this resolves the matter. Almost, I said. Just make sure no other family men walk through your doors and end up broken. Later that day, I sent one more message. To Jordan. From the burner. You took my wife. I took your job. Now we're even. Stay out of my life. No reply. Didn't need one. He got the message. And Vanessa? She was spiraling. I could see it online. Her Facebook turned dark, cryptic quotes, passive-aggressive comments. I heard she moved in with Chloe. Good. Let her sister deal with the fallout. But this wasn't over yet. The next step would hit where it hurt most, her reputation. Because if she thought she could destroy my life and walk away untouched, she was about to learn what consequences really looked like. Vanessa always loved being admired. At charity events, in church pews, during backyard BBQs, she wore attention like perfume. She played the devoted wife in public, while slipping out the back door for her little midnight adventures. But now the mask was about to come off. I had every receipt, every screenshot, every slimy text she sent to Jordan, and I knew exactly how to use them. That morning, I created a private, anonymous Facebook group. Title: The Truth About Vanessa Carter. I uploaded everything: texts, hotel receipts, the photo of her and Jordan in front of the bar, the hand with her ring off. No nudity, no slander, just facts. I invited only people I knew, friends from church, neighbors, old college friends, her coworkers, even her mom. I wanted everyone to see what the perfect housewife had been doing behind closed doors. In less than 3 hours, the group had over 80 members. Then came the comments. I can't believe this. I thought you two were solid. She always did seem fake. Guess we were right. She cheated on Daniel? With her daughter's friend? OMG. Ashley was involved too. It spread fast. By noon, Vanessa called me. I didn't pick up. A minute later, a text. What did you do? People at work are messaging me. This is beyond petty. You're ruining my life. I replied with just one sentence. You started this. I'm just making sure the credits roll properly. That night, I got a call from Chloe, Vanessa's sister. Daniel, she started cautiously, this is getting out of hand. Vanessa is a wreck. Crying nonstop. You've made your point. Maybe it's time to stop. Did she stop when she was sneaking into hotel rooms while I was funding her whole lifestyle? I asked. She made mistakes, yes, but you're turning the entire town against her. Good, I snapped. Because I want her to feel what it's like to be betrayed in front of everyone you know. There was silence. Then Chloe hung up. Vanessa tried again the next day, this time in person. She showed up at my office. I saw her through the glass wall, messy bun, red eyes, cheap makeup trying to hide the damage. My secretary looked at me. Should I let her in? I nodded once. Vanessa stepped in like she still had authority here. I didn't offer a seat. You need to stop this, Daniel, she said. This is harassment. No, I replied. This is exposure. You don't get to set fires and complain about the smoke. She crossed her arms. You made this personal. It was personal. You dragged our daughter into your affair. You embarrassed me. You broke her vows. Now you want me to be, what? Civil? Yes, she snapped. Because I was unhappy. You stopped making me feel special years ago. I felt invisible. You weren't invisible, I said. You were entitled. And now you're embarrassed. Her voice cracked. You're ruining my reputation. I can't even walk into a store without people staring. You should have thought of that before you got naked in a hotel with a 27-year-old gym rat. She slapped the desk. I leaned in, calm. You humiliated me. I'm simply returning the favor with evidence. Her face twisted in frustration. She looked like someone who'd lost control for the first time in years. Then she tried a new card. What about Ashley? She's your daughter. You're throwing her under the bus too. Ashley, I said, chose to betray me. She's not innocent. She lit the match. You just poured the gasoline. Vanessa wiped her eyes. Please. Daniel, what do you want? I paused, looked her straight in the eyes. I want you to disappear. Quietly. No alimony. No house. No access to our accounts. You sign the papers, you walk, and you don't look back. She scoffed. And if I don't? Then I release everything to the press. And trust me, they'll love this. She didn't answer. Just stared. Then she walked out. Later that night, I posted one last update in the group. To everyone following this thread, I appreciate your support. This chapter of my life is closing. Betrayal hurts, but exposure heals. Let this be a reminder, truth always wins. Then I archived the group. I wasn't interested in dragging it out forever, just long enough to ensure she'd never forget what she did and what I did in return. But I still had one last surprise. Because this wasn't just about revenge. It was about legacy. By the time the dust started to settle, I could finally breathe. Not well, not easy, but the air was clearer than it had been in months. No more secrets clinging to the walls. No perfume trails at 3 a.m. No fake smiles over breakfast. Just silence. And I liked it. But there was one thing still haunting me, the damage Ashley caused. My own daughter. The same little girl who once held my hand crossing the street, now plotting with her mother to find a better man because I was too boring. You think a knife in the back hurts? Try one from someone you raised. Ashley had moved in with her friend Sierra. She hadn't spoken to me since I kicked her out, unless you count the 3 half-hearted texts she sent a week later. Dad, I didn't mean to hurt you. It wasn't supposed to go this far. I miss you. I ignored all 3. That weekend, Jason came home from college. He walked in, dropped his bag, and hugged me tighter than he ever had before. I saw the group, he said. I saw everything. I nodded. I didn't want you caught in the crossfire. I should have come home sooner, he muttered. I knew something was off. Ashley acted weird every time I mentioned you two. He sat down, looked me dead in the eye. I want to help. We spent that weekend cleaning out the house. Every framed photo of Vanessa? Gone. Every vacation picture with Ashley grinning beside her like nothing was wrong? Packed in a box and taped shut. We redecorated. Repainted the bedroom. Switched the furniture around. Not because I needed a fresh look. Because I needed a fresh life. On Sunday morning, Jason pulled a file from his backpack. What's that? I asked. My business plan. I want to open a small gym. Not like Iron Temple, something honest. Focused on real training. No fake influencers or creeps. He hesitated. I want to name it after you. That one hit harder than any punch I'd taken in life. Don't, I said, voice breaking a little. Name it after yourself. Make it yours. No, he said, firm. You taught me how to fight for what matters. You took this whole storm and handled it like a man. You earned it. We shook hands. And just like that, a new seed was planted, not in spite of the betrayal, but because of it. Monday came. My lawyer called. Vanessa's agreed to the terms. She'll sign. No alimony. No assets. She keeping the car? I asked. She tried. I reminded her it's registered under the business. She backed off. Good. I didn't need to see her cruising around town in my damn Audi like nothing happened. Ashley, on the other hand, posted a photo that same day. Instagram. Caption. Some mistakes teach you more than school ever could. She was sitting by a pool, sunglasses on, drink in hand, like she'd just graduated from Betrayal University. People weren't commenting much anymore. The damage to her image was done. But I didn't block her. No. I wanted her to see what rebuilding looked like. Slowly. Quietly. Without her. That night, I found something in the attic, a dusty, unopened letter from years ago. It was from Vanessa. On our 20th anniversary. I sat down, heart heavy, and read it. I don't say it enough, but you are the rock of this family. If I ever lose sight of that, remind me. I never want to take you for granted. I folded the letter, smiled bitterly, and set it on fire in the kitchen sink. No need for reminders anymore. She'd taken care of that herself. And as the flame died out, I realized maybe this was never about revenge. Maybe this was about evolution. I had lost a wife, yes, but I'd gained truth, clarity, and the unshakable knowledge that I was never the problem. They were. All of them. Vanessa. Ashley. Even Jordan, wherever he was now, jobless, exposed, likely chasing the next broken home. Let them spiral. I was building something. And nothing was going to stop me now. It was a Tuesday afternoon, cold, gray, the kind of weather that makes your thoughts louder. I was at the new office space Jason and I had leased for his gym. We were scraping old decals off the front window, laughing about how the previous owner had spelled fitness wrong in vinyl. I hadn't laughed like that in weeks. Real laughter. No bitterness behind it. Just life. Then my phone buzzed. Ashley voicemail. Dad, I know you probably hate me. I messed up. I thought I was helping Mom feel alive again. But I didn't see what it would do to you. I didn't think she'd actually go that far. I was stupid. I'm sorry. I miss home. Please call me. I stood there, phone to my ear, not moving. Jason saw my face and stopped scraping. She called. Yeah, I said. Sounds like a confession. Years too late. I didn't call back. Because apologies after destruction are just words. I went home that night and found another letter in the mailbox, real paper this time, not digital. Handwritten, Vanessa's handwriting. I knew it like a scar. Daniel. I signed the papers. I'm gone. I hope you're happy. You've humiliated me, ruined my name, and turned everyone against me. But you always were better at playing the victim. I gave you years. Gave you children. You act like I never mattered. You made your point. You win. Vanessa. There it was again. Even in her surrender, she played the victim. As if she hadn't orchestrated her own downfall one cheap motel at a time. As if her betrayal didn't echo in every quiet corner of this house. She chose to lie. Chose to cheat. Chose to drag our daughter into the dirt. And now she wanted sympathy? I shredded the letter. The next day, I saw her in town. She was sitting alone at the outdoor patio of a coffee shop we used to frequent. No friends. No crowd. Just her, sunglasses on, staring into her drink like it held the past. She looked thinner. Older. Like the affair aged her 10 years instead of 3 months. She saw me walk by. I didn't stop. Didn't slow down. But I heard her whisper, just loud enough. Daniel. I kept walking. Because I'd already buried that version of me. The man who tolerated, who compromised, who waited to be loved correctly. He died when she left the ring off and put her dignity on hold for a one-night thrill. I got home that night to find Jason building the squat racks with a buddy from college. The smell of fresh paint filled the air. The walls were clean, the mirrors new. A phoenix mural took up the far wall, his idea. I stared at it for a while. A bit dramatic? I asked. He laughed. Come on, Dad. You were the phoenix. You burned down your whole life and rose out of it with better posture. I smirked. You're not wrong. That weekend, I hosted a small gathering. Close friends. The real ones, not the ones who turned quiet when the drama unfolded. We grilled in the backyard, played cards, drank beer under the patio lights. For the first time in months, I felt human again. Midway through the night, Jason stood up. Can I say something? We all turned. I just want to say, he started, watching my dad handle this year has taught me more about strength than any book ever could. He didn't crumble. He rebuilt. From scratch. And now we're building something together, not because we had to, but because we chose to. They all raised their drinks. I didn't cry. But damn, I was close. Because I realized in that moment, the affair wasn't the end of my story. It was the middle. The climax before the rebuild. The betrayal that cleared the wreckage so I could finally see who was worth keeping. And that Phoenix mural? It wasn't just a symbol. It was the reminder that pain doesn't define you, response does.